Are Miller and Girgensons going to be in?
Yep, we will add Miller. I'll talk to him one more moment after practice here, but he looks like he'll be ready to go. And Girgensons, so nice to have those two guys back.
Who's going to be in goal?
That is, I'll leave that to you guys to figure that out. I think you're good at figuring it out. You got to have something out there for you.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me, can you just go ahead?
Sure.
Thanks.
We've had so many injuries this year. Getting guys back, how much fun is that?
It's nice. We had Eakin with Okposo and Girgensons at the start of the year. I thought they together as a trio were really good. Even good for the rest of the guys to see the way they played together. And that lasted a game or two before the guys started getting hurt, and we've never had an opportunity to get it back. So those three guys together, it'll be nice to see them together. And obviously with Miller back in the lineup, it's just nice to be healthier and healthier. And I've spoken to that about Craig Anderson finally getting healthy enough to come back. What an impact that was for us a few weeks ago when he was able to get back to form.
With Dahlin's development, what have you seen him improve upon this year specifically?
Yeah, he's become a lot less hesitant. There's no hesitation in his game. He's he's fearless. These are words we talk and use quite often around here. That we want to play that way. But he just, I don't know if there's any one thing. I think the work underneath what the performances that you see was always there. So there was an inevitability that it was going to turn for him, and he was going to be able to just almost relax a little bit and not have to play to prove himself, but be able to immerse in the moment and engage in a situation where he could just read and react and use his hockey sense. But what we're seeing is a guy with incredible hockey sense and instincts, both offensively and defensively. Free things up internally to just go do that. And his read and react, and I would say coupled with his high compete, have been the two things that have stood out most for me.
Do you think that's a personal maturity, just him getting older and knowing the league better? Is that kind of what made that happen?
That is a big part of it. That's a big part of it, just maturing and getting to know your surroundings and getting more comfortable with your surroundings. And that was one area that we've really focused on with him, is making sure he's extremely comfortable with the surroundings, how he deals with us as coaches, and how, peer-to-peer, player-to-player within our locker room. We've worked on that a lot with all our guys and made that a real focus point we want our guys to play, a competitive game, feisty, competitive, however you want to say it, but with an element of, being relaxed, being able to be themselves and not fearing a mistake or not fearing repercussion of a mistake. And, we've wanted to make sure that became part of our culture, and I think the guys have, embraced that, taken that over to the point where it doesn't detract from being competitive. When that happens, then we have an issue, but I haven't seen that.
How is Dylan Cousins making his way through the league? It's not always easy for young players, but he seems to be finding his way pretty well.
Well, he has an extremely high compete, feisty.
Yeah.
So, when he does have times of struggle, he responds the right way and pushes through it really fast because he responds the right way. He'll either elevate his compete, he'll come talk to us and express his frustration, and he targets how to make improvements or adjustments. So he's a competitive guy, but a very intuitive guy as well. And then his skill set. I mean, he's got dynamic, explosive speed, some pretty good power to him, whether it be a quick release of a shot or. And he's never shy from a battle. So really good. I mean, that's a combination of a lot. Otherwise, he would, like most young players, would need time somewhere else to develop. But he's got so many things there that he can develop right here, right now, and he has been.
It seems like if you have that skill plus that character to
Yeah.
compete, it's only a matter of time before the two.
Yeah, they just keep. I mean, he's going to continue to get better for the next, 10 years. I mean, he honestly is. He's going to, every bit of experience he gets, he can internalize and derive a benefit from it. So we put him in a lot of situations. Tonight he's not going to have an easy line to play against, and not many guys his age will be playing against the players he'll play against. and we've had him playing against, and he's done a great job at it. I mean, when I say great job, yeah, you know, there's, you know, these guys around the league are great players. They're scoring goals against everybody and anybody, but to deal with it psychologically and not allow it to detract from what you have to offer the next shift or that game is impressive, and that is a real strong component of Dylan's, his ability to just keep grinding forward.
I know it's a few days old now, but to see him, you know, Austin Matthews is a big name player in the league, and he had no problem lighting him up because that's what needed to be done. Do you like to see that as a coach?
You know, I'd love to see him respond. He's responded. There's always a level of compete established in any game in the NHL or any sport for that matter, and he's the type of guy that one will either set it, and if it's set before he has the chance to set it, he identifies it and says, I need to go higher. If this is the level that competes at right now, I need to elevate. And that was a little bit of what we saw in that game. And he responds the right way. You know, it's within the game. It's within the context of the rules. He's not he's not taking a retaliation penalty or a slashing penalty. If he does, it's a rarity, I would say, because he's so willing to compete the right way.
Don, in the last couple of weeks, you've knocked a couple of playoff clubs sideways a little bit. Is there an identity perhaps to be forged, at least temporarily, in that spoiler's role, while at the same time sending a message to the rest of the league that, you know, wait till next year, like we're starting to build something?
Yeah, I would say none of it is either for us. We're not, targeting and saying, hey, this is a playoff team, we want to be a spoiler, or we want to let people know we're coming. It's way too far. It's way too much for us to even consider any of those. We just need to take care of ourselves and focus on our game and play our game and play with intensity. We need to keep elevating our standard, new standard, higher, and that will continue to be the focus. The Edmonton Oilers tonight, it was the Toronto Maple Leafs the other night, and Vegas the night before. I mean, we're talking about elite hockey teams, elite talent. It's all over the league, and for us and our guys, we know we're playing elite teams all the time, but we've got to turn it back to us and in our locker room and try to perform as well as we can possibly do.
To follow up then, are you starting to see positive signs of a slow build toward a certain long-term objective?
Yeah, I think our guys have stayed on objectives really well. The challenge you have with teams and organizations in situations like we're in, you start seeing the final result, the final score on the scoreboard, as a negative indicator of things when you don't win, or we're not doing the right thing. And we've never felt that way. We've felt, we're not even, the score on the scoreboard isn't going to give us a relevance of, the direction we're going, the next step we need to go, or how we're going about our business. We know we have a lot of work to do and a lot of grinding through a process, and we can't ride ups and downs and emotions that are in pro sports all over. I mean, you watch press conferences all over and look at how much emotion's in there. We can't do that. We need to get better, and we need to continue to focus on getting better, and with the foundation of competing as hard as we can possibly compete. And I'm proud of our guys for that, and we need to continue that and just take the next step forward.